While the list of alleged victims appears to grow, it also appears that only a few students, a few kids told their parents or school officials. Patty Fitzgerald is founder of Safely Ever After. She's also the author of No Trespassing. This is my body. Patty, first of all, welcome to the studio.
Thanks.
Now, we heard from the young lady, the grad student, just a moment ago in the story. She's studying molecular biology. She seems to be a very well-spoken, bright young lady. She, 3 friends, went to school officials. Nobody did anything. Nobody paid attention.
Yeah.
Does this happen often?
It does happen often, and it's really frustrating because this is why kids end up not telling, or why abuse continues, because when a child comes forward and discloses, sometimes they're told, that didn't really happen, you're making that up, he's a nice guy, don't tell lies.
Why is it? Because they're kids and he's an adult and he's an authoritative person?
Yeah.
A teacher?
Part of it is because he's an authoritative person, they're just a kid. Also, people don't want to believe that that really nice teacher can be capable of doing some pretty awful things. And so there's this denial factor going on. And, you know, I'm sure the teacher was friends with the principal. So now that principal is saying, wait a minute, that's my friend. You kids must be lying.
It's been alleged that this has been going on for decades, as long as 3 decades here. Is this something that gets progressively worse? Because when we hear about what happened to these youngsters between the ages of 6 and 10, it is horrific.
It is horrific. And if you keep getting away with it, you're a predator, you're going to push that envelope even further. You're going to keep pushing and pushing because you pretty much start to feel you're invincible and you can get away with anything. You're pretty much getting away with whatever you want to do right under everybody's nose, and that's part of the thrill for them too.
Does it have to do with the fact that these kids are so young?
Yeah.
But then you say to yourself, how can young kids make up something like this?
Well, that's the thing. False disclosures are very, very rare. Kids don't make this stuff up. That's why it's so important to listen to them when they come forward and they tell you they got an uh-oh feeling. Somebody's doing something inappropriate. That's thumbs down. Little kids don't make this stuff up.
We teach our children about stranger danger. Stay away from strangers. Stay away from strangers. You're talking about a teacher in a classroom. Yeah. What should we be teaching our kids about that?
Well, I don't like stranger danger because 90% of the time, what happens to kids happens to them by somebody they know, not by a stranger. So we need to be talking to our kids about what's okay, what's thumbs up and thumbs down inappropriate behavior. So I like to talk to kids about rules. What's the do's and don'ts? What are the rules? So things like no secrets. Nobody should be telling a kid to keep a secret from mom or dad. And so if somebody tells you about a secret game, it's okay to tell mom and dad. You won't get in trouble. We'll believe you. Private parts. I like to talk to kids about the private parts rule. You know, your private parts are private. We don't play private parts games, not with the ice cream man or the next door neighbor or the teacher or the soccer coach. And if somebody tries to break that rule, it's not your fault. It's okay to tell. Again, that's why kids don't tell.
What are the warning signs for kids? I mean, if you're a parent and you are looking because your child has been in this teacher's class, or anything else, what should you be looking for in terms of a warning sign? Well,
there can be physical warning signs or emotional warning signs. If your kids come home and they don't like how their day went, they're really angry, they're mad about something the teacher said or did, those are warning signs that a parent should step back and say, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm going to trust their instincts. I'm going to trust mine. Physical, obviously, if your kid comes home and there's any kind of marks on them and they can't really explain them, you know, if a teacher's putting tape on your mouth and then taking it off, that's not a game. And maybe there's going to be some red marks or something from when the tape come off. So those are the kinds of things I'm looking for.
There has been alleged there was an incident 18 years ago in which he perhaps fondled a young girl. It was investigated by sheriff's deputies. They turned it over to the DA. Insufficient evidence here. Yeah. Did the school drop the ball, knowing that at least somebody had said something, even if nothing was found? Should they have been paying more attention to this teacher?
Absolutely, absolutely. When an allegation comes out like that, you should absolutely, if you're the school administrator, pay attention. Start monitoring what's going on in that classroom. What's going on in terms of how he's teaching? What is he doing that's blurring the boundaries? Is this teacher befriending certain children that might be a little more vulnerable and easily groomed? Is he going beyond the scope of what a teacher should do, offering rides home, taking kids on special outings, things like that? So yes, I think there was probably a lot of other warning signs that school officials turned their back on.
Do you find it hard to believe that someone didn't notice something inappropriate was going on in that classroom?
I do find it hard to believe. But again, the level of denial when it's the pillar of the community, that teacher, there's just a lot of denial and people don't want to believe it. So there are times when blatant red flags get ignored and people don't even trust their own instincts anymore.
And you think more victims will come forward? He's been charged with 23 counts.
I know. And I would not be surprised if we start seeing more witnesses come forward to say, yeah, something. I mean, he's been in the classroom for a long time.
The name of your book again?
It's called No Trespassing. This is My Body, and it's a children's book for kids ages 3 to 8. It talks about all kinds of safety rules: thumbs up, thumbs down, no secrets, the uh-oh feeling, what to do if you get an uh-oh feeling, the private parts games not allowed. So it's a way for parents to introduce the topic of safety. It's kind of the thing that gets you to open the door to the dialogue.
All right. Thank you so much for
coming
in.
Thank you so much.